On board. Phase 1, day 1.
The roads that lay open are many when the old ones gone.
What is going on, guys?
I'm Fiorella.
And I am Zach.
And we come from a little corner of the internet that we like to call growing slow and wild.
In 2018, we bought this shuttle bus and converted it into the tiny home of our dreams, and we've been living in it for a little over a year.
We are so excited you're here, and we cannot wait to give you a tour of our home.
Let's get started.
Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live. This morning has a clear light as any to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were too.
Okay, so let's start with the bus. So we found the bus off the side of the road with a big for sale sign in 2018 when we were in a road trip. It used to belong to a kayak company, so we like to say that she was already getting used to wild adventures. But the bus is a 2003 Ford E450. It used to hold 27 passengers and it was a shuttle bus. Before the kayak life, the bus used to belong to the government. So it does have a lot of rust because this bus was picked up in Ohio and that's where it lived most of its life. But back to the facts, the bus had 149,000 miles when we bought it, and we paid $5,000 for it. So another thing we really like about the bus is its engine. It's a 7.3 liter power stroke diesel engine, and it's one of the best engines out there. So we don't know anything about mechanics, so we wanted an engine that was easy and friendly and people knew about it and liked and trust, and I think we got it with this one.
After a year and a half of travel, we are now sitting at around 167,000 miles. So we've put on, let me do some mental math really quick, somewhere around 18,000 miles. We've been all over the place, so that actually feels kind of little to us. But we spent $4 grand to convert it, and we have since put in about $5 grand in mechanics. We've replaced 3 of the injectors, we've done the water pump, we've done brake lines, we had a tire explode, we had a tire almost fall off. We've really paid our dues here in the first year and a half of bus life, but overall she's been really strong and the engine itself is in really good condition, so we are very grateful for that.
And there she is.
Ooh, girl. So we are here sitting in the back of the bus, which is 25 feet from the tip of the bus. So the bus is 25 feet long and the deck is about 2 feet. So we are coming in at around 27 and a half feet long total. We did add the deck ourselves. It is just bolted into the frame of the bus. Pretty easy peasy. We also painted the bus ourselves. Fun fact, we actually painted it twice. We painted it one time and we painted it all blue, and we took a step back and we turned around to look at it and we looked at each other and wondered what decision we made. So we very quickly painted it again. We did it all by hand. We didn't really use any tape except for the one line that you see going across the bus. So it's all freehand. There's some imperfections, there's some blemishes, but we love it so much.
Hey! So this is the back of the bus. We like to pretend that this is like a balcony because it's kind of what it does. This door, however, you cannot access it from the outside. You do have to open it from the inside, which to us is kind of like a security thing, so we like that default. But this is an old RV letter we rescued from our storage unit and spray painted black. The spray paint held pretty well considering we've been on the road for so long. But our intention was always to build a upper deck. We just never got around it, but we still got a chance to go up there and sit for sunset. So it's been a fun part of the build. So the door gives you access to our garage area where we hold our 35-gallon tank. We do have very simple plumbing, so this is an independent tank, which we consider our big tank, which holds 35 gallons of fresh water. In addition, we hold things like our kayak and tools and just overall just house storage.
All right, so starting up here in the cab area, we have this nice long, like, storage thing that we built. It has a nice stained top. It's kind of a catch-all, and in here we hold some of our tools and towels and oils and things like that for the bus. We really like this area a lot. At first, when we first hit the road, and for a long time of living on the road, this whole area was just like a complete eyesore. It was like the dash was all gray and this was open, and we had like our tools and stuff here and you could see it, and it was just so ugly. So we built this, and it really just changed our whole experience. It just like extended our home so that the front was also our home, and we just really like it a lot. Up there is our solar setup. So we have a 40 amp Renogy charge controller, and behind the wall, behind that skateboard that just moved, is 2 gel batteries, 100 amp hours each, and on the roof we have 4 100-watt panels of solar. So one of the biggest things for us during our build was being as sustainable as possible and using as many reusable or reused resources as we could. So throughout the whole build, we kept all of our scraps, and when I say all of our scraps, I mean we had the most ridiculous amount of scraps ever, just in case we needed them for projects, and it paid off because most of this build is done with those exact same scraps. Any of these boards and all of the boards back behind me that you see that are the 1x3s and the 1x4s are all just scrap pieces from stuff that we had bought, and then this wall over here is actually just all pieces from an old pallet that we had found in the storage unit where we were keeping the bus. So we are really stoked with how we were able to use as many resources just like that.
So moving into the house, the first cabinet that we have is a little bit of everything. It holds our fridge, which we love the size. It's a 3.5 cubic feet fridge, so it gives us a pretty decent size fridge, and it gives you a freezer, which has been really nice to have, especially in the summer when you're doing bus life. Having ice is luxury. But then we have just a little bit of storage for things like blenders and Tupperware, and then some other baking or breads that we keep up there. And then our Berkey, which is our filtered water. We love the Berkey. It is incredibly delicious water, and it gives you the ability of putting water from rivers or creeks, and it's just an incredible experience. So we love our Berkey, and we designed everything to fit a Berkey in there. So it's kind of like a dream moment for us.
So sitting here in our Dinette area, it's actually funny, for the first few months of living on the road, this was the area that we regretted about the bus the most, but since being on the road, it's been one of the areas that we've come to really appreciate. We have 2 benches, the one that I'm sitting on and this one, and they both fold up. And in here we have a bunch of outdoor things, chairs, shoes mostly. And then mine holds a lot of games and things that we sell in our vintage store. Our table is actually an old library door. It was the perfect width, and it was almost the perfect height. It was a very short door. And we just had to chop it, and we love it so much. It just gives it a lot of character. You can still see the door hinges right here, so we really like that. And then up here, we wanted to have some open shelving, so we have the open shelves over here and also the ones on the other side of the bus. We just really like the way that it feels. It makes it feel more open and more homey. And surprisingly, with this little lip that we have a little 1.5-inch lip down here. None of this stuff falls, not even the books. The books have only fallen a couple of times. But yeah, we really like this little area of the house, and we just have these huge windows that just let a lot of light in, so we spend a lot of time doing work and hanging out and playing games, and yeah, we like it.
Our journey into tiny nomadic living started really in 2017. We studied abroad together in Europe and completely fell in love with the idea of traveling and just being location independent. And so we just got in the idea of wanting to live an alternative lifestyle. So we do have a 2-stove burner with a little oven. It runs on propane, and we just have a 5-gallon propane tank that is right underneath. We can access it through here. First you have to get through our trash, but it's right behind that. Or we can easily remove this too. We need to access it from on top. We ended up loving this size. It was exactly what we needed for on the road. It let us cook plenty of elaborate meals and bake a few goodies. So we love this setup, and we would probably definitely do it again. As part of our kitchen, we have a big sink, and we are big on cooking, so this was very important for us. And also it's our only sink, although we have a full bathroom, so we wanted to make sure that it had plenty of space for everything. It is a vintage laboratory sink, and it's one of my favorite parts of the whole house. It's like a dream sink for me. It's like a farmhouse sink that we found, but it was $50 and it's vintage, so it's a total dream. In terms of our plumbing, like we mentioned before, it's just very simple plumbing. So this is a DIY faucet. It's just PVC pipe that we cut and made it look like a faucet, and then just spray painted black. And here's where we have our easy plumbing, which consists of 3 6-gallon tanks. One of them is gray water, the other one is water for the sink, and the other one is fresh water to hold for our Berkey. And it all runs through a foot pump system, which is fantastic because it doesn't need electric. And it is super easy to install, and more than anything, it lets you be extremely strategic on your water use. So you end up saving lots of water because you're just using exactly what you need, since it's not like pressurized. And so it's fantastic, and it works. Like, you still get a good amount of water, so it is efficient and easy and cheap, and we'll probably do it again. So as part of our kitchen is this really long, almost 5'2" butcher block, and I know that because I can almost lay here perfectly, and I'm 5'2". So big counter because we wanted just lots of space to cook together, to hold stuff, to decorate, to play in. I work here sometimes. It's just a very multifunctional space, and we love it. In terms of our pantry, it's this one big door that we made with upcycled pallets that we found, and I love the feel of it. It's just rustic. But we hold everything in here in terms of pantry, where we hold most of our food storage, as well as like pans, pots, and cleaning supplies. So a little bit of everything. And then from there, we move into what we like to call, from this point forward, is the transition to what is our bedroom. So the first drawer is our messy kitchen catch-all drawer, and every drawer that follows is the closet, since you're already in the bedroom.
I know there's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night.
full-size bed. It's very, very comfortable. We really, really like it a lot. Around the bed over here, we have all storage. And it's just some big open shelves that just fold up, where we have some books and documents and mostly games, because we're really big game people, so we definitely had to have our space for games. Above me is our stick. This is where we hold all of our power. It's our mojo. It's everything is in this stick, and it will be coming with us from rig to rig and house to house until the end of time. On the side over here, we have our bookshelf. We just have a bunch of books that we've read, books that we haven't read. We just really like to have books around. It really inspires us, and yeah, we just have that whole area for books. We are collectors. We like to collect things from all the places that we go. So back there, we have our vision board with some dried up flowers and plants and rocks and feathers and sticks and all sorts of things that we've just accumulated over the last year and a half on the road, and they mean a lot to us sentimentally. Moving this direction, the edge of the bedroom, we have our closet. So half is Fiorella, half is me, and these are our black window covers, which you can see in the windows in the bedroom. It's a vintage door, and it's one of the first things we bought for the build, and we really, really like it a lot. Down here is a massive drawer that spent 1 year and 4 months of its life broken, and it just recently got fixed. So I can actually open that to show you. We just have bigger things, sweaters, jackets, jeans, stuff like that in there. And life just hasn't been the same since that drawer has been working, to be honest. We also have the front entrance to the garage. So just gotta slide this carpet back a little. And we love these doors so much. They actually came from a piece of furniture we had in our studio apartment before we moved into the bus, and we took them apart because we just knew that we had to have them. But in here is our garage. So it's a little bit of a mess right now, as you can see. Do not mind that, but it's just everything, cosmetic things and art supplies, and our laundry we also keep down there. But yeah, that's the same area as what was in the back of the bus. So here we are in our very tiny but completely full-sized bathroom. To my left, we have our DIY composting toilet. We just couldn't justify paying as much money as a composting toilet is, so we built one ourselves, and it cost us $40 in total, and we haven't had any problems with it, and we like it a lot. Other than not emptying it on time, that's the only problem, but that's our fault. To our right is our shower. So we have corrugated metal on 2 of the 3 sides, and the other side is cedar, and we hold our outdoor mat when we're not using it in here. But we have a gravity-fed solar shower, so we don't have any plumbing. We just have it running straight from a PVC at the top of the bus, and it just waterfalls on out, and it gives you a nice gradual flow of water. It helps us really conserve water, so we can be out boondocking for longer, but it also helps us to get clean, so we actually like the system a lot. So we wanted to do a mock-up before we drilled an irreversible hole into our ceiling. So we have a nice 15 feet long of 4-inch thick PVC pipe. This is where we're gonna enter the water, and essentially it's gonna fill it up. According to our calculations, we got about 10 gallons can go in here, and we're just gonna use the power of gravity to allow the water to push itself out. And here's our lever, so off and on. And that's a pretty nice flow.
You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah. So hold me tight through the
tour of the tiny home on wheels that we get to call home. We really hope you enjoyed it. We really hope it helped you get creative and it reminded you that you can truly build your dream home. So we are so excited to have you come in, and if you are wondering more about us and our story, our vintage store, Zach's art, or just want to get to know us a little bit more, we are in the internet as Growing Slow and Wild, and we love sharing all things shuttle bus dwelling as well as inspiring you to go follow your dreams. So we can't wait to see you over there, and thanks for coming.